With the signing of OBJ, does that mean that Lamar Jackson will return to the Baltimore Ravens this season? Let's discuss now on Pack the Bank.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to what is attempting to be the best sports podcast on YouTube. As always, my name is Cody. I am here joined with my wonderful friends and co-hosts Aaron and CK in the building. Welcome back to another episode of Pack the Bank. Aaron, what do we have on tap for today's episode?
Man, let's talk about, normally as everybody knows that keeps up with us, we're going to do some Packers and Panthers corner. We're going to talk about some news around the league. We're going to actually do the rankings on cornerbacks today, and then we'll end off with two NFL quizzes with all, maybe something, spice it up, have a little fun at the end. So we'll do some quizzes.
Little testing the brain knowledge.
Yeah. So let's jump into cornerback rankings first. With Garrett Williams, man, I like his zone coverage instincts. I think his instincts in zone coverage are fantastic. I think he's kind of a slept-on corner that doesn't really get as much talk and hype around him as should be. So I think he'd really be someone to look out for. So I also like his physicality, his aggressiveness, and also his competitive toughness. Dude's tough. Dude's willing to jab you at the line. He don't mind getting dirty, man. It's just part of it. So I really like his aggressiveness when it comes to playing a cornerback position, definitely, because I personally like an aggressive corner. So things that concern me, his long ball speed kind of bothers me. He's right off the line, he's good, and then 15 yards and back, I think he's pretty well, but it's the 15-yard plus that kind of scared me more, because it's like he loses speed as he keeps going, and then he can end up getting burnt in the deep ball pass. So that kind of worries me a little bit. His ball skills with when he has his back to the ball kind of frighten me too a little bit. It's like as soon as his back is towards the ball, if he's trying to catch up with the receiver he's guarding at the time, he just kind of loses sight of the ball. A major no-no as a corner. You kind of always have to have your eyes on the ball. He's also dealing with an injury. He's coming back from a ACL injury back in October of 2022. So the ACL injury kind of bothers me too when it comes to Garrett. Overall, then, man, I really like Garrett. I think he's gonna, at worst be a top-tier cornerback 2, if not be a bottom-tier cornerback 1. So
yeah. Who do you think? Because I know that for a couple of these guys, I know that like Devin Witherspoon and Christian Gonzalez and even Joey Porter Jr. have drawn like comparisons. Who do you think Garrett Williams like comparison is here? If you had to give him an NFL comparison.
That's a good question. What's that corner from Greg Newsome?
Okay.
He's a corner, right? Or is he a safety?
Yeah, he's a corner.
Yeah,
no, he's a corner.
Yeah. Greg Newsome would probably be my comparison to Garrett Williams. So, with Joey Porter Jr., man, I really like him too. He has excellent ball skills at catch point. So I really like that. He has the prototypical length to play. He's a big dude. I don't have his measurements. I had some others written down for their measurements, but I didn't write his down for some reason.
Joey Porter is 6'2", 193, and ran a 4.46.
Yeah, big dude. 6'2" corner, I'm all for. He's actually one of the bigger corners in this class, if not the biggest. His press man, but he also he has prototypical length when he plays press man on the perimeter. So, like I said, his length definitely helps him when it comes to press man coverage. His height, weight, and speed at premier position. Like I said, he's 6'2", 190, 195. But and then his speed is, what'd you say? What was it?
4.46.
Yeah, 4.46.
Quick, fast dude. Things I don't like. His run support is kind of nah. So I think his run support could definitely use some working on. He's kind of high hit. He has a high hit frame that can lead to tightness in transition. So it kind of bothers me, like the back pedaling into the turning around and running forward. His hips are a little tight. so it could cause him maybe to stumble or even to fall down, depending on the play, the grass at the time where they're playing, or the surface, I should say, because they don't all play on grass anymore. So that doesn't.
Unfortunately.
And then I think he's kind of a scheme specific talent. So I think certain schemes are gonna, work for him well more. That's when I think he's gonna be more of a man guy than a zone type corner, in my opinion. So it'd be better for him to go to a man coverage, more of a man coverage team than a zone heavy team. You got anything about Joey?
I do not.
Not really. I mean, I'm just kind of wondering, like, with the draft being next week and everything, who they're, like, I guess, drawing comparisons for. Now, I have heard that I think Joey Porter Jr. draws a lot of comparisons to, I believe, like Casey Hayward. I think he draws a lot of comparisons there. But who would you say?
Man, with Joey, man, I didn't come prepared for comparisons.
That's fine.
Done some more looking around.
According to CBS, his NFL comparison is Dre Kirkpatrick, if you remember him. He was playing at Alabama.
That's not bad.
I think it's low end for him.
Yeah, this next one that Aaron's going to talk about, I actually know a personal comparison for him. So one that I've heard. So.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Jair.
For Christian Gonzalez?
Yeah.
That's who his comparison is.
Is it really?
I got Aqib Talib.
So Aqib Talib is like his floor, but I think Jair is like his ceiling. Because of the way that he plays press man, and he's super aggressive, which is exactly how Jair plays.
Mm-hmm. I don't really have as very much when it comes to Christian Gonzalez. Mainly his con to me is his play strength. I don't think he's really one of the strongest corners in here. So it worries me about being kind of bullied when it comes to right off the line. But what I do like though, his length, his athleticism, and his instincts are insane. The dude's an all around ball hawk. So I like Christian Gonzalez. I think he's going to do pretty good in the league.
He's 6'1", 197, and ran a 4.38.
Yeah, dude's fast. So I think where he's probably going to succeed is, even if he's not that physical, on the line, I think you could actually make more of an argument to have him fill more of an Eric Stokes type of role, where he might get beat off the line, but he's got incredible makeup speed. And I think that's really where you're probably going to see him succeed a lot, and he's going to be able to cover deeper than most of your man-to-man corners, or even your zone coverage guys that are just going to have to they can cover, but they're going to have to go and sit back a little bit and just kind of wait for the receiver to come to them. So,
yeah. So Emmanuel Forbes, I'm pretty high on Emmanuel. His ball production is great. He's pretty versatile when it comes to his coverage also. So he has his coverage versatility is very well. He's good at zone, good at man. He's pretty good at pretty much everything that I've seen him play. I know he had pretty good games against Texas A&M and Kentucky. I think he had a pretty good game versus LSU and Bama also, if I ain't mistaken. I'd have to look them up to see exactly, but I'm pretty sure he had pretty good games versus all four of those teams. I know he had a good game versus Kentucky. So he actually, his intelligence and his instincts are great. These top three guys, their instincts and their intelligence are all pretty high for me. They're pretty much all three just fantastic football players when it comes to just just football altogether. Yeah, they're just great football players. Definitely cornerbacks. I mean, they're all fantastic corners. Emmanuel actually ran a 4.35 40.
Yep.
So I mean, he's quick.
Yeah.
His slim build is what bothers me. Dude's only 6 foot 180.
Yep.
So I mean, I'm 6 foot tall, sure, but I mean, you're going to be playing against some big receivers.
So you have him at 180. At 180 pounds.
That's what it said online.
See, I got at 166.
Oh God! If that's even worse.
So I don't know. It could be. I'm looking at like PFF and like the NFL Draft Buzz, and both of them have him lifted at 166.
Oh God.
But I don't know when they updated it, so it could be wrong. I don't know. But yeah, I got 166.
I don't know if I don't know exactly what, because like you said, you have that, and I have I got 180. So I really don't even know, to be honest with you.
Well, what was his numbers at the combine? What did he weigh in at?
Let's see.
Because that would be closer to like what he actually is going to be.
Kind of. Let's see. NFL Combine. Let's see. Where is he at? NFL.com. What does NFLog.com have him listed as? NFLog.com has him listed as 166.
Jeez, that's really small.
Yeah.
That's like incredibly undersized.
But if he's playing like I don't know. I don't want to say like a nickel. But if he's playing nickel against those smaller, faster receivers, he'd be all right. It wasn't a problem in the SEC. It won't be a problem in the NFL.
That's another thing. I think people have to take that into consideration for everything, to be honest with you, in my opinion. I just think, I know people's like, well, NFL and college is different. Yes, but with the SEC, you are playing some of the greatest talent in college football. So it's like, that's pretty much what you're going to be playing.
The SEC is just the closest you can get.
Yeah. So it's like, if you can, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. To me, it's just like, I think that says something, and that's not just for corners, that's for every position. I think that it definitely speaks volumes. I don't know. Maybe it's just me.
Yep.
All right, let's get to Devin Witherspoon.
Yeah. So with Devin Witherspoon, man, of course, you know, his instincts and his intelligence is insane, but his experience and success in man coverage is top tier. Probably one of the best, if not the best, in this draft. I think he has the best ball skills in the draft. His personality, he has a tone-setting personality. So it sounds like he could possibly be the field general of the defense, the quarterback of the defense, as some people like to say. So I think he's definitely going to be a very outspoken player. So me personally, I like outspoken players. I like players that like to run their mouth and can back it up at the same time. So I do enjoy that. But he also has a special teams resume, which I think will help out some, whether it's kick return, punt returns, or even field goals. So his special team resume is definitely going to help Devin. His lean frame, it offers questions versus powerful wide receivers. Sorry. He's only 6 foot 180. That's what they had him listed online.
Yep.
I mean, it could be wrong. So he's kind of the same, I guess, when it comes to Emmanuel Forbes with that one. It's like, are you going to be able to keep up with like is a DK going to push you on the ground and just run past you?
Out physically, yeah.
Yeah, is he just going to drive you in the dirt and run off and catch a bomb on your face? You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I'm wondering if teams could box him in and try to make him play slot. Because in my opinion, I think his primary role should be a cornerback one on the wide receiver one, blah blah. But I think that some teams could potentially try to box him in and make him play the slot position because of his size. And sometimes I think he's a little overeager to make plays, in my opinion. I think he's just kind of he kind of like try to read. He'll read the quarterback's eyes, and he tries to over. I don't really know how to explain it. He's just over eager to try to make the play in the backfield and could just completely just miss. We see players do it all the time.
I know a corner that like to do that quite a lot.
Yeah, we know a defensive edge that does it too. So that's really that bothers me when it comes to Devin, but that's pretty much it.
You want me to do my famous what you call it, honorable mentions? I do
Sure,
every time. All right, there's a bunch of them, so I'm not gonna explain a bunch. So Deontay Banks, a Maryland corner, 6 foot, 197, ran a 4.35. Then we have Cam Smith from South Carolina. He's 6'1", 180, runs a 4.43. I'm gonna say Julius Brents from Kansas State, 6'3", 198, 4.53. There's two more. Darius Rush, also from South Carolina, 6'2", 198, ran a 4.36. And then Riley Moss from Iowa, who's 6'1", 193, and ran a 4.45.
Excellent. All right,
the
boys.
cornerback class is pretty deep.
Yes,
it's very deep. I mean, we talked about it a couple weeks ago, and we kind of just keep reiterating it. But the closer you get to the draft, you realize this is a incredibly deep, like, lineman draft, tight end draft, receiver draft, cornerback draft. Like, the guys that are going to come in and make the guys that are coming into the league next year, I mean, it's going to be a completely different league, and it really is going to show with this draft, because there are like stars everywhere as far as this draft goes. So,
except for next week when I won't have any honorable mentions, because the safety class is literally
so
like
thin.
Safety class is lacking. Yeah,
it's so thin.
Yeah, it's pretty rough. So yeah, that's all I got for corner this week. Next week we'll end our rankings list with safeties, because I'm not doing kickers and punters because it's boring. So yeah, we'll end it with safeties next week.
Alrighty.
So
welcome to Around the League News. Like mentioned before, and actually earlier in the show, wide receiver Odell Beckham Jr. has officially signed with the Baltimore Ravens. Is this just the Ravens trying to get Lamar to stay in Baltimore, or is this the Ravens finally giving whoever will be the quarterback a wide receiver one to actually work with?
I think it's probably a little bit of both. Clearly the only other receiver they have is Bateman, but he hasn't stayed healthy the past 2 years.
Yeah.
I also think, I don't know if it's true, but I saw a tweet from somebody, I don't remember who it was, but they were like, Odell asked for Beckham and Hopkins.
Lamar.
Yeah, Lamar. Yeah. Sorry, yeah, Lamar asked
I was actually about to bring that up.
And Hopkins, and then the Ravens were like, we can only do one.
There can be only one.
So obviously got him. I kind of hope that Lamar goes back, just because I do kind of want to see Lamar and Beckham. That'd be pretty sweet. But I don't know if it'll be enough just getting him.
I think the fact that they were actually like FaceTiming each other after OBJ signed is probably a really good sign that Lamar's coming back.
Yeah.
And I think that this is going to be this is going to work in the Ravens' favor as far as like enticement goes, because he's going to be like, all right, they might not pay me, but we might see more than one playoff game this year, because
he's definitely still going to want to get paid though.
Oh, absolutely. But
so it's one of those where what they ought to do is either front load it or back load it. In my opinion, what they ought to do. I don't know how they can do it, but they can do it where he's like the highest paid quarterback for the first 2 years, and then it kind of falls off.
Yeah.
But my thing with this is, though, it's like, yeah, they brought OBJ in, and then Lamar is a question mark, and they FaceTimed, and and all this, and this thing come up about wanting D-Hop. But it's like, I feel like Lamar, there's got to be, OBJ knows something because it is reported that the Jets offered him just about, if not the same, that what Baltimore offered him.
Yeah.
So that somewhere in there that has to be a thing, because you don't just say no to Aaron Rodgers if you are going to go play with some rookie quarterback or even Tyler Huntley. Like, so it's like one of those where it's like, look, we're Lamar's like, if you get on with the Ravens, I might drop some money a little bit to come and play. But you know what I'm saying? So it's something's there in my opinion. I just don't know what.
I can see that.
Well, and I would, I know that we hate throwing around the old leverage word, but I really do think that this kind of works in Lamar's favor because he can pretty much go to the Ravens and be like, look, you gave OBJ, as great as he is, $18 million for 1 year. There's zero reason why you can't give me the money that I'm asking for, or even like you were saying, Aaron, like a little bit less, and everything be good, and we make this run like you guys want to make, the run.
Tell them to bring me my money.
So I think that this, in term, I think it all works for the Ravens because I think this is exactly what they wanted. They wanted to get a wide receiver 1 because Lamar's probably been asking for one, and now Lamar also has a reason to stay in Baltimore. And I think it works out for everybody. So,
yeah, I as much as I'd like to see Lamar somewhere else, I think he just fits Baltimore. I think it would be best for him to go back to Baltimore. Plus, because I don't know if any team is willing to pay what he wants.
I can't see him being anywhere else. That's the weird part. Like,
yeah,
I saw like the stuff that, people are gonna put out for their edit pages on Instagram and Twitter and whatnot of him in a Jets uniform or like a Cardinals uniform, Falcons, whatnot, what have you. He didn't look natural in any of that stuff to me. Like, I just always seen Lamar Jackson as a Raven.
Funny enough, the only one I think he looked the best in was probably Atlanta. But
yeah,
I don't want to deal with Lamar Jackson twice a year, so it's a pass.
No,
I think it's between the Colts and the Ravens.
Yeah, I think it is too. And if it happens, it'll be draft night.
Yeah, pretty much.
And I don't think it'll be for 2 first. I think they'll be like, I'm gonna give you 4. 4 is a high pick, so it's like I give you 4, and then I give you 2 seconds and a couple third and whatever else. So it'll be interesting to see though when it comes to this. All right, so Gerald McCoy has announced his retirement. McCoy played for the Bucs the majority of his career. Spent a season in Carolina. Went to the Raiders and then went to the Cowboys. I don't know if he played much for either one of those teams when he was there.
I think the Cowboys he signed and they didn't get hurt in the offseason.
I think so.
Yeah, because I don't think he ever actually took a snap as a Cowboy.
Yeah, I think that's what happened.
I think he got hurt in Vegas too.
Yeah, something like that.
So I think his injuries caught up and he was like, yeah, whatever. I don't know if he's signing.
I do not think he has a ring.
I don't think he does either.
Was he not there in 2020 when they
He was not.
He was not.
Nope.
Huh.
I think he was with Vegas then.
Huh.
He definitely wasn't on the Bucs.
He definitely wasn't on the Panthers either.
He was on the Bucs when they were complete dog doo-doo for 8 years.
He was Jameis Winston Buccaneers. He wasn't Tom Brady.
Okay.
He was the only beast of a player on that team for a long time.
I was so excited when we signed him.
Yeah.
And then he just kind of... He wasn't awful, I give you that. But
he wasn't terrible. He was not.
He wasn't Gerald McCoy that I expected either. So...
do you guys know that the year that he went to you guys was 2019? And that's the year that the Bucs won the Super Bowl? Wow.
Yeah, that's how it works.
I I don't remember
He's
who it was,
sad.
but I was looking up some other dude that I was pretty
That would
sure
low-key
won.
probably make me retire.
Yeah, I was looking up some dude the other day that I was like 100% sure won a Super Bowl. I can't remember who it is now, but like, it's amazing to me how many people like leave teams and then the year after they're gone, that team that they were just on wins the Super Bowl. It's like if you would have just been there for one more season.
One more year.
Or the team, or the player that, like LaShawn McCoy, played for the Chiefs and won the Super Bowl, and the very next year went to the Bucks and won the Super Bowl also.
Yeah,
Which then
Oh,
played
never
his
played it
old
down.
team.
it was Le'Veon Bell. I was looking up Le'Veon Bell the other day.
Yeah, Le'Veon never won one.
Yeah, because I thought for sure that he would have won one with Kansas City, and he didn't win. He didn't win it with Kansas City.
I think that was the year he was on there with when they played the Bucks, wasn't it?
Yeah, and they
Yep.
lost. They went to the
Mhm.
Super Bowl, but they lost.
Yep.
I was like, that's
To
insane.
really think about the amount of Super Bowls and playoff games that the Chiefs have been in these last 5 years is insane.
Yeah,
Must be nice.
And it doesn't look like it's slowing down either.
Oh, it's not. It's not going to slow down a bit.
not even a little bit.
Not, and that's the scary part. So
And they hit on all their draft picks too, like all the time.
Nick Bolton is a dog.
Yeah,
Well, like their
So-
entire draft class this past season started games for them or
Yeah,
played
Karlaftis.
significant snaps.
Karlaftis was good.
Yeah, but even like
Karlaftis,
like
Isaiah
seventh
Pacheco.
rounder. Yeah, their seventh
Yeah,
round running back. just
Pacheco's
eight.
dude. He had a game in the Super Bowl.
Which is why you don't draft a running back in the first. So what I got next? Okay, yeah. The Falcons are just spending money. I mean,
Yeah.
they're just, so they signed Bud Dupree. Good for them, I guess. They
I mean, it's all right. Like,
also signed, who did sign this week earlier?
Oh,
Or was it last week?
I know who you're talking about.
They
Listen,
signed a-
Falcon fans, I'm gonna be completely
A
honest.
big name.
This signing would have scared me like 6 years ago. But I mean, Bud Dupree's a great player, but he hasn't really done a whole lot.
When he left Pittsburgh, he was a great player. He went to Tennessee and kind of fell off a little bit. But I do think that I honestly think Atlanta's going to give us the biggest problems in the NFC South this year.
Yeah, I've been saying that our real competition is the Falcons.
Yep.
The Saints are going to be stuck in mediocrity because as much as people keep saying like, oh, they keep manipulating the cap. But you got to realize, look at everything they keep losing, and they replace it with 30-year-olds
Yep.
that are falling off. They're going to stay where they're at,
Because
8 and 9.
Michael Thomas is
Yep.
not a top 10 wide receiver. I don't care what you say. You're going to lose Alvin Kamara for at least 6 games.
Yep.
Chris Olave is about all you got. And Chris Olave is good. And I don't like talking good about the Saints, but Chris Olave is a good receiver. And Derek Carr is Derek Carr. I'm not scared of Derek Carr. Sorry, I'm just not. But yeah, the
They traded for Jeff Okuda today.
Jeff
What happened?
Okuda. That's who it was. Yeah, I didn't put that on here, but whatever. They traded for Jeff Okuda. They traded for
And Johnny Smith.
So they traded for Jeff Okuda, who was back in 2020. He was a 3rd round pick, a third overall pick,
Yeah,
and they
he's-
traded him for a 5th round pick. So you can be like, oh, we got Jeff Okuda. You're right, but you traded for somebody that went 3rd, and you traded him for a pick in the 5th round, dude. That speaks volumes, in my opinion.
Not really. I mean, he's a pretty solid corner. I'm not gonna say he's like
he went
monumental.
3rd overall, and they traded him for a 5th round pick. That's like
Well,
Chase Young went 2nd overall and trading him for a 5th round pick.
no. I don't know. I think him and
AJ Terrell.
AJ Terrell. I had somebody else in mind. But yeah, I think the pairing of him and AJ Terrell will actually be really good.
I mean, a change of scenery is maybe what he needs, but we've played Jeff Okuda twice since he's been drafted, and I've never seen him make anything that done anything to blow me away.
Yeah.
So, but yep.
All right.
All right, so I know this is kind of hard for y'all to see, but I can read it. You're good. So here are the draft attendees for this year's draft. There may be more. I don't know. Jordan Addison, Will Anderson, Brian Branch, Jalen Carter, Zay Flowers, Christian Gonzalez, Paris Johnson Jr., Will Levis, Joey Porter, Anthony Richardson, Bijan Robinson, Jackson Smith-Njigba, C.J. Stroud, Keon White, Tyree Wilson, Devin Witherspoon, and Bryce Young. These are some of the guys that are the attendees for the draft. As you can see, I see 1, 2, 3. I see 3 wide receivers. Possibly 2 of them go in the first round. I think JSN and Flowers goes in the first round. I don't know about Addison. And then there's 1 safety. Like you said earlier, the safety class isn't very deep.
Nope. There's a bunch of corners.
There's a ton of corners.
And then your four quarterbacks, because there's no shot. There's no shot. All 4 of them. One of them is going to fall to the second. They're all going to go in the first round. And then one offensive lineman. Paris Johnson, which is weird because I think dude from Tennessee should be there. I think he's going to go in the first.
Yeah, I think I also think Roger Jones should be there. I think
Skoronski should be there.
Skoronski should be there. I mean, I think it's weird that Bijan Robinson is up there.
Why do you think it's weird Bijan's up there?
Well, I mean, I don't know.
He's going in the first, dude.
I mean, he's going in the first, but if Bijan's going to be up there, I don't see why Jahmyr Gibbs is not up there.
You know, a good.
But you also got to remember they have to accept it. They have to accept the invite, and they also, then again, they still have to be invited. But
because Bijan's a generational prospect, and they're going to invite him because they know he's going to go first. And you know what I think could happen? I think that one trade that should be watched out for that could be a trade and a draft pick for Bijan is the Los Angeles Chargers. Austin Eckler wants out. Somebody calls, hey, we want Austin Eckler. What do you want for him? We'll give me a second or whatever, maybe a third. They trade him, and with that next pick, with their first overall pick, they take Bijan and put him on that Chargers team.
I can see it.
So I actually could see that. Yeah.
I think that's an interesting take. I think the Giants are a team you should watch also. I know they got Saquon, but they tagged him, and Saquon has apparently said he's not signing the tag. So that could just be a bunch of people say they're not signing the tag anyway all the time. But I still think that if someone calls and offers them a high second, you take it and then you draft Bijan Robinson. Why not? He's cheaper. He'd be expensive because he's a first, but still, he'd actually be cheaper than Saquon, I think. And then plus, you ain't got to worry about that injury history that Saquon has.
Yeah, or if you're the Packers, you trade away your star player for a bag of chips, and that just is what it is. So, I'll
say another thing here. Notice how Quentin Johnston. I don't know how to say his name. Is it Johnson or Johnston?
It's Johnston.
Johnson. Okay. He's not on here. And the reason that he's not on here is because the NFL... Allegedly. The NFL doesn't think he'll go... They're not, like...
They don't want an awkward moment on TV.
Yeah, but then, no offense to Keon White.
That's insane. That's an insane thing.
Keon White is there. No offense to him, but buddy, you could go... He's the easiest one to sit there and go, yeah, he may go in the second round. Top of the second round, but still. That's insane.
Confused on what the awkward moment the NFL thinks is going to happen.
Him showing... Okay, think about how awkward it was that Lamar Jackson sat there for 31 picks.
Or Corral and Willis.
Or Corral and Willis, who got first-round invites and sat there and didn't go to the third round.
Yeah.
So it's like you're sitting there looking... Or 2005, to go back to Aaron Rodgers, hey, you might be going first, cool. And then he falls to 25, and he's sitting there like this the whole time.
It's because every camera is going to be focused on you the entire time.
And it's pretty much like hey, dude, you kind of suck because you keep falling. It's like,
hey, bud, this must suck for you, but, TV is TV, bud.
Yeah.
And I know you're about to cry, but suck it up, Buttercup. You shouldn't have got blown out 65-7 in the game, and you probably would have went higher.
It just kind of amazes me because it's like, what if one of these guys, like, for whatever reason, like, doesn't go first overall, like first round, like you guys were just talking about.
Yeah, you sit there.
Like, they're not fixing anything because it's still going to be awkward. So, like, why even with
because
like,
these are because these are most of the guys that more than likely have the higher possibility of going first. So
that makes sense. All right. Is there anything else in around?
Yeah, I've got a couple more. So we're actually going to talk about these NFL Pro comparisons for these quarterbacks real quick. We'll kind of run through these, nothing crazy. Kind of get through it kind of fast. These are all absolutely terrible.
Yeah, they're pretty bad.
So Hendon Hooker is a mixture of Jacoby Brissett and
shout out.
And Daniel Jones. So NC State and Duke.
Let's go, baby.
Interesting. Definitely coming from a kid that's from Greensboro, North Carolina.
Yeah, from Carolina.
Woo!
So
let's go, baby.
Yeah, this is an awful comparison in my opinion. I don't like it.
It's pretty
not
rough.
One bit.
I don't think he deserves it, honestly. I think that Hendon Hooker is like a healthy Hendon Hooker is miles better than Daniel Jones and Jacoby Brissett. So I don't like that comparison at all. I would give him a young Russell Wilson with a little bit less accuracy. That is probably, I would give him a better version of Geno Smith. That is probably what I would give Hendon Hooker. But Daniel Jones and Jacoby Brissett, absolutely not.
Yeah, I mean, I get that. I'm not against it. Yeah, I disagree. Will Levis is Sam Darnold and smoking Jay Cutler.
Oh, dude, this is perfect.
If you want to talk about the boom or bust, this is the biggest. Put two trash quarterbacks together and then put him in one, and that's what you do. Because Jay Cutler was garbage and Sam Darnold is garbage. So it's like, yo, that is a terrible 2-1.
Jay Cutler.
I think it's funny that I look at all three of these dudes and they just look like frat bros.
I think that's kind of why they put them all together for being. They look like they all went to the same high school and college together and just never grew up. And they all they drink Miller Lite together.
They're all like sitting in a cookout parking lot wearing their Letterman's jacket.
100%.
Talking about 3rd and 15.
100%, dude. If I wouldn't have injured my shoulder, we'd have won state that year.
Bro, if I wouldn't have torn my arachnophobia, I would have went first overall.
100%, dude. Will Levis, in my opinion, his comparison to me, in my opinion, is Derek Carr.
I could see that. I don't
know. I do like the Jay Cutler one.
The Jay Cutler for a floor would be good. I think his ceiling could be closer to maybe like a Marcus Mariota.
Shoot, I wish my ceiling was. I wish my floor was 35,000 yards, 227 touchdowns on 116 interceptions.
Yeah. So
that's
anyways,
a pretty good floor.
It's not. Jay Cutler's trash. He was a Bears quarterback. He actually threw more touchdowns to the Packers than he did to his own team while on the Bears. Fun fact.
If that's real, that's insane.
I bet you it was 2016.
That is a 100%.
If it happened.
Mm.
Let me see.
I think another Will Levis comparison could maybe be a Jake Delhomme.
Maybe. I could see that.
That's fair.
So
next prospect.
Anthony Richardson.
The man.
My man.
Jalen Hurts. Okay. Not 100% agreeing, not disagreeing either.
I could see
Carson Wentz? Really?
Absolutely not.
Carson Wentz?
I mean, MVP Carson Wentz.
Maybe. I'm glad that Cam Newton's not on here. I am insanely glad about that. Thank you,
for
that.
That is the comparison that I was thinking I was going to see.
Yeah, but thank God, because he's nowhere near Cam Newton. I'm sorry. Maybe his accuracy, both their accuracies are hot garbage. But
if I could like take out one of the quarterbacks, obviously it'd be Wentz for like a floor comparison, and I would give him like Dante Culpepper.
I was thinking Donovan McNabb.
Yeah, Culpepper or McNabb, and then Jalen Hurts. That's a pretty good floor to ceiling ratio, and I think that Anthony Richardson would probably fall somewhere right in the middle. And that's not a bad quarterback at all.
Yeah. I mean, I think, like I said, for Carolina, of course, if we draft Anthony Richardson at 1, I'm not against it. I would definitely question it. But it's like, you have to 100% trust this staff enough, because if you can hit on, and I'll say this every day until the draft, if you can hit on Anthony Richardson, you're going to hit on possibly a top 5 quarterback in this NFL. 100%. And I'll die on that hill. But you have to be able to hit on him, because if you don't, this guy is a huge, probably the number 1 boomer bust guy in this draft.
Well, it got a lot of attention, kind of negative attention from our group chat the other day. But the Panthers actually put out something talking about, who do the fans think that you guys are taking at number 1, and I commented, I said the popular answer is going to be Bryce Young. But the correct answer, looking back at it 5 years down the road, it's going to be Anthony Richardson. Because if Frank Reich can take Anthony Richardson and do even a little bit of what he was able to do with a very old Phillip Rivers, a very old and nobody wanting Carson Wentz, and then a backup journeyman Jacoby Brissett. If he is able to do that with Anthony Richardson, look out. Because the NFC South is wide open. The NFC Conference is wide open. And there's absolutely no reason why Anthony Richardson can't come in after a little bit of good coaching and film study and have this Panthers team sitting pretty, every year in the playoffs.
It's like people's like, well, you gotta have a decent backup for Anthony Richardson. Yeah, got Andy Dalton.
Yeah, and honestly, that's somebody for him to learn from, because Andy Dalton is a very serviceable.
Whoever comes in is literally learning from 3 quarterbacks. Because they're learning from Josh McCown, Andy Dalton, and Frank Reich. All used to be quarterbacks, so it's not like they don't know how to do this position.
And I know he wasn't a quarterback, but also Jim Caldwell.
Yeah.
He wasn't a quarterback, but
I think he is a slept-on hire.
He definitely is slept on
for Carolina.
Definitely.
Well, but I'll also say this: he coached Matt Stafford like in his very young years, so he's got that experience too.
And Peyton Manning.
Yeah, and Peyton Manning. I mean, you've got quarterback help all over that place. So if they're going to take a project in Anthony Richardson, it's going to be a pretty good project. It's going to be an old Ferrari that you're taking to a car show, and you only got a little bit of detailing to do. Yeah. So, I mean, it's a listen. All right, I'm going to say this one time. It's a Jordan Love type of pick. It is a high risk, high reward. All right.
Except you're not waiting 5 years to play him. You're going to wait like 1.
Well, we didn't either. We waited.
Or none. Get ready. He's coming.
Yeah,
I didn't say much because I've put my opinion out there way too much about that.
It's okay. All right. Next prospect. I hate this.
CJ Stroud got a Jared Goff and Dak Prescott comparison. I always wonder, what do these guys think when they see this type of stuff? Like, when CJ sitting at home and he sees this, what does he think? Of course, he's not ever going to tell nobody, but it's like, did he look at this and just laugh? I think I would have.
I think my first reaction is probably what his first reaction was, and the only thing that kind of came to my mind was like, why?
Yeah.
I don't see any CJ Stroud, or I don't see rather any Jared Goff or Dak Prescott in CJ Stroud's game. Like, I feel like he's got a way faster delivery than what Jared Goff has. I feel like he's a lot more accurate than what Dak is. And when he needs to, he can break down and escape the pocket better than both. So, what are they seeing?
The only thing I can think of is if they they didn't tell us how it actually worked, and maybe they're saying like taking the best traits from Goff and the best traits from Dak, and that would be CJ. That's the only way I can see that this actually makes sense.
The thing that I think I could see is the way that I know that both Jared Goff and Dak Prescott like read coverage at the line. Watching a little bit of tape on CJ, I have seen that. So I think that is a similarity that I could probably pull and I could see. Otherwise, as far as like attributes going on, like I was talking about throwing, accuracy, escaping the pocket, just presence when he has the football in his hand, I don't get it, man. But I don't like this comparison anyways. So I think this is where a Jalen Hurts comparison would probably be more accurate as far as maybe a ceiling or a very low floor goes. I could see a Jalen Hurts comparison here.
Yeah. And then we'll finish with Bryce Young. This
is straight dookie.
This one is the one I didn't like the most.
This was straight trash.
Tua and Teddy Bridgewater. I need Cynthia Freeland.
Oh, I get it, because they're Alabama quarterbacks. That makes sense.
Well,
one went to Louisville, but yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I was more so talking about Tua, but
okay.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
These are bad.
I don't even know how to.
So, anyways,
I don't even think the Drew Brees comparison is a great comparison, but I take that one over this. This is awful.
This is bad. This one is bad.
Yeah,
But with Drew Brees though, the Drew Brees kind of makes more sense because they both kind of did have that point guard mentality when it comes to playing football.
Yep.
Like I don't think people understand. I know that the size scares them. But I really think Bryce Young could be really good. I think that's a crappy excuse for.
Yep.
And
they
come out with these S2 tests, and this man scored like a 98.
Yeah, 98.
A normal score is like in the 70s, 80s. He scored one of the highest ever. He scored higher than Herbert and
wasn't it higher than Breeze too?
And Burrow.
Yeah, it's higher than Burrow, and I think it's higher than Breeze as well. It's insane. Dude's cracked.
But from what I'm guessing, this S2 test is supposed to be about decision making, reading defenses, stuff like that. So it's like you scored a 98. He's pretty smart when it comes to all this type of stuff. So it'll be interesting, man.
Well, I heard that he has like a photographic memory or something, and I think it was like Mac Jones or Joe Burrow have photographic memories, and that's why they also scored super high on those tests or whatever.
Yep.
So,
well, Bryce Young also had a full year of experience because he would literally build the offense with Bill O'Brien every week because he knew that much about him.
And Bryce Young also, as soon as the game would end, he would go get the game film and watch film right away after the game.
Yeah.
That's the first thing he would always do. And I've been on the CJ Stroud train, but I'm slowly getting off and jumping on the Bryce train. And I've been a Bryce fan too.
Choo choo.
But dude,
put Luke Kuechly as a comparison.
Draft night's gonna be fun. Draft night's gonna be so fun, dude. I cannot wait. Are you gonna be able to be a part of it?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think so. However,
fake getting COVID. Fake get a disease.
There's a possibility.
Just tell me your tummy hurts or something.
I might just do a draft surprise.
Whoa, crazy.
Whoa.
Dude, that's awesome.
Call in from work.
So we doing?
David Bakhtiari, does he believe in the Packers, or will he eventually just leave with his comments? Let's find out on this episode of Packers Corner. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this segment of Packers Corner here on Pack the Bank. So, David Bakhtiari actually went on Bussin' with the Boys over the week, and essentially, this statement that he's made has kind of been taken out of context a little bit, but it does have a little behind it. So, David pretty much said the Packers are rebuilding whether you think they are or not. Could they be good? I don't know. Could they be bad? Probably. I think that the thing a lot of people are getting caught up on is the fact that he said they. He didn't say we. He didn't say us. He didn't say Green Bay. He said they, which is almost like, he's kind of trying to separate himself. And I think the only problem that I have with people reading into this is the fact that David just re-signed with us. He just restructured his contract. We know he's staying in Green Bay. Now, whether he's happy about that, I don't know. If he wasn't, I wouldn't assume that he would sign again with us. However, I think he's also going into this season with an open mind because he's never played a full season or even more than a game with Jordan Love. So how is he supposed to know if they're going to be good or not? He can't. I mean, it's like it's even like Jordan right now. He doesn't know what the season is going to hold. He doesn't know if they're going to be good or not. He doesn't know if they're going to make a playoff run. It's just something that they're going to have to cross that bridge when they come to it. And that's the fact of kind of what's going on. So I don't look too much into the whole Bakhtiari saying. I think that, he's still a part of the team, but it might not be for a very long time. It just kind of depends on how he's feeling, how the organization is feeling, and honestly, they might end up drafting his replacement in the first round. We'll just have to see how the draft shakes out. Next up, we have a thing from Wendell Ferreira on Twitter earlier this week. According to Charles Robinson, the Packers asking price is a 2023 second and a 2024 guaranteed first, and they are willing to give something back to the Jets in 2025 if Rodgers retires after one season, and the Jets don't want it. So, as of today, which is Saturday, April 15th, the Jets and Packers still have not traded Aaron Rodgers to one another, rather the Packers trading to the Jets. And the problem with this is that the Packers and the Jets had came to an agreement before the Jets went down to meet Rodgers in California. And I think after Rodgers went on McAfee is when the Jets and the Jets front office got a little bit scared. They got shy about him saying that he was 90% retired versus 10% wanting to play. And so Woody Johnson got a little scared that Rodgers wasn't going to be there. The problem is, if you guys already had something agreed upon, then why not go ahead and just go with the deal and then take the fact that the Packers are trying to say, look, if he doesn't play after 2024, cool. We will give you something back in 2025. It's a guaranteed that you're going to get that draft capital back in some form. I think that this probably would have been done a lot sooner, if not already done, if Rodgers hadn't said the 90-10% comment, but obviously we will never know, and this will probably go all the way up until draft night, which is next Thursday. So next we have the Packers have a big cap hit whether Rodgers stays or goes. The Jets have no quarterback hit. 2 weeks, yeah.
Yeah, 2 weeks till then. Yeah, actually, real quick, while you're on that subject of that, there has been talks that Rodgers has told the Jets front office not to. I mean, I don't know if you know more about this probably than I will, but told them not to try to rush this because he's not going to be there at OTAs and any of that anyway. So to drag it out as long as they want to. So I think that this is a big reason why a lot of people don't like Aaron Rodgers. It's like, you want to be traded and blah, blah, but you don't ever want to be a part of the team. And maybe it's just me, but I personally wouldn't want a quarterback if he's not going to be like, I'm going to be there. We're going to do this. Like, you need to work with these guys.
Yeah.
You need to be around Garrett Wilson. And that's the big reason why I was very hectic on him about, getting mad at Christian Watson because he dropped a touchdown pass in week 1. You haven't worked with him. You have to have that connection, but you won't go get that connection because you're too busy staying at home doing ayahuasca. So, it's like, come on now.
But to be devil's advocate, in this case, he is looking out for his future team.
He is. You're right. But my thing is, it's like, yes, he is looking out for them. But at the same time, I don't know how to, he's looking out for them, but he's also not at the same time.
The thing that I have, or I guess the problem that I have, rather, the Packers, I don't think it'll happen, but it's been kind of quote tweeted and stuff like this. It's a very real possibility that we don't trade Rodgers before the draft, or even during the draft. It's a very real possibility.
Yep.
This only hurts New York if we don't trade him, because we could have them. We could be in trade talks with them all the way up until after the June 1st designation, which, by the way, only has us at a 16 million cap hit for this year. So it kind of further pushes that can down the road and really kind of helps out the Packers as far as salary cap goes for the 2023 season. But you look at it and you say, okay, New York, cool. You guys don't want to give us our draft capital. Well, now we're going to make it worse on you. And we're still going to give you Rodgers, but it's going to be after you guys have already done OTAs and mini camps. So now when preseason's coming up and you guys have plays installed, we'll give you to him, but he's not going to be any help because none of your receivers are going to be on the same page as him. So, congrats on not just compromising with us when we had a deal in place already and essentially screwing yourself over. The only person that he's going to have any type of connection with there is Alan Lazard. And Alan Lazard's not going to go around teaching the Jets receivers the entirety of what Rodgers expects because he respects something different from every single receiver. So,
but he could work out with them, just not at training camp.
I feel like there's a tampering clause or something.
But what about whenever they train with each other during the season or after off season?
Maybe, I don't know. I feel like with him being a trade asset, it might be something different. But I don't know. That could be a possibility. Otherwise, that's all that I kind of have for this week on Packers Corner. As always, if you liked the video, go ahead and feel free to hit that subscribe button, hit the bell notification so you always know when Packers Corner or Pack the Bank goes live here on YouTube, and listen to us wherever you get your podcast. But until next time, guys, peace.
Look in the sky. It's a bird. It's a plane. No, wait. It is a bird. It's Damiere Byrd, and he's back with the Carolina Panthers. Let's talk about it on Panthers Corner. All right, so Damiere Byrd is back with the Carolina Panthers, and if that name sounds familiar, it's because he used to play for the Carolina Panthers. Cody actually remembers Damiere Byrd. He was the one that had the butt catch versus the Packers in that one game. Remember that? That was an insane catch. It was good or not for you.
Was that 15? Was that 2015?
I don't think it was 15. I think it was like 17 or 18.
Okay.
17 or 18, yeah.
But
I remember it happening. I didn't remember.
Yeah, the butt catch. That was insane.
That mic'd up moment was great.
That was crazy. It was funny because the whole time everybody's like, yes, yeah. And Greg Olsen was like, do not challenge that. He was out, and Cam goes, whose team are you on? And then as soon as we get it back and they're like, it's a touchdown, Greg Olsen's like, yes! And they're like, come on, man. Like, that's not. Nah,
Come on,
okay.
Greg.
But yeah, Damiere Byrd's back. This means one to two things with me. One, Shi Smith. There's a possibility Shi Smith will no longer be on this team. If he is, he'll be a practice squad member. And two, Damiere Byrd's probably gonna be more of our punt and catch return man. Or it could be Shi Smith. Either one. It could be both of them. Who knows? But yeah,
I have my theories.
Okay.
I'll be 100% honest.
I'll let him go first.
Sorry, I'll be 100%
No,
honest. This probably means that the Panthers are not going to draft one of those big name receivers, and I'll just let you guys know that now.
And
yes, and maybe no,
so
because we still don't have a wide receiver one technically.
Yeah, technically speaking.
So,
but I was gonna say to me this means three things. One, like Aaron said, it could mean that we're gonna cut Shi Smith. It might be a thing of we're keeping 6 receivers. We're gonna draft one, and then it's Damiere Byrd versus Shi Smith for the kick returner, punt returner type thing. It could mean we're gonna keep 7 receivers, and we're keeping both of them plus a drafted guy. Or it could mean genuinely we don't like any of the receivers in the draft, and we just wanted to do this to make sure we had 6. So
yeah,
who knows? It could mean anything.
Yeah, I mean there's a lot of. I mean, I don't know.
Could mean anything. Could mean nothing.
It's actually a very interesting signing. I'm actually very happy about the signing, but it's a very interesting. I was surprised. I read it out. I had to reread it because I was like, what?
Yep.
What? Okay, cool.
And
forward to back.
Was it the last kick? He either has the last kick return for a touchdown for the Panthers or the last punt return for the Panthers touchdown.
It's been that long. He was last on the team in 2018, and it may not even been that year. So that just that says a lot, in my opinion.
It's been bad. It's been rough.
It's been pretty rough. Yep. But so let's talk about this real quick. I had one a couple weeks ago with CJ Stroud, and I think it was Zay Flowers. This week I have one, and it's updated, and now we have Bryce Young because he is now the leading favorite and betting odds of being the number 1 overall pick, and then potentially our number 39th pick, Jalen Hyatt, on this. Me personally, I'm very high on Jalen Hyatt, so I'd love to see Jalen Hyatt as a Panther. I think he'd do really good with Bryce Young too. So, me personally, I love this offense. I love the last one too, but I love this one. So,
I'll agree. As long as we get some weapons for a guy, I'll look forward to it.
Which one do you guys like more? Which one do you think would be more versatile, I guess, between the one last week with I think it was like CJ and Zay Flowers, like you were saying, and then this one with Bryce and Jalen?
I'll be honest with you, man. I kind of think this one, because you've got this one's more versatile because Terrace Marshall arguably could be your wide receiver 1 if he pans out to be what he was back in 2019 with LSU. You got your red zone threat, and then your
deep threat
possession guy in Adam Thielen. Adam doesn't drop a lot of passes. And then you've got another red zone threat and your deep ball guy in Jalen Hyatt. And then you've also got another deep threat in DJ Chark. And then you've got Hayden Hurst, a great tight end. And I mean, Bryce Young is Bryce Young. So, which I actually have a video on Bryce Young we can talk about here in a second too. So me personally, because I'm a little more high on Jalen Hyatt than I am Zay Flowers, but Zay Flowers and Jalen Hyatt's kind of like neck and neck for me. So, but yeah, me personally, I like this one a little bit better. But
I somewhat agree. I'm going to have to go with last week's just because I think Zay Flowers is – I think he's – I'm not going to say he's the next, like, great receiver, but I think he's going to come in the league and he's going to light it up.
Zay Flowers gives me Steve Smith vibes.
Yeah, I think he's going to be so – it's simply because of how good I think Zay Flowers is going to be is why I'm going to give it to last week. Just because you'd have Adam Thielen, Terrace Marshall, Zay Flowers, and then you still have that deep threat DJ Chark.
If you swap Zay Flowers and Jalen Hyatt right here, it'd be perfect.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
100% perfect.
Yeah, that's probably what I would say too. So it's hard, man, because so Jalen Hyatt is one of the guys that's actually been mocked to us a couple times for the Packers, and I would be super excited to see him just because he is the missing piece to our offense as far as having a reliable slot guy goes. So go downfield, and I would love that. But I'll be 100% honest with you. If this was the Panthers offense, I would be actually scared of that because that's a good offense.
Yep.
Yeah. So I've got this, and before we get into the QB talks, I do want to bring this up about Bryce Young real quick. This is on a podcast the other week or last week. The name of the podcast will be up when I post it. But this is actually Luke Kuechly talking about Bryce Young, and really listen to what Luke Kuechly says because you got to think about Luke Kuechly, one of the best minds to ever play football when it comes to just breaking down film and doing it all. So just really digest what he's saying here.
Size stuff is great, but if that ball's coming out fast, it doesn't matter. And that was one thing that we ran. And Drew wasn't a huge quarterback, but he was strongly built. But you could never touch him. You get close to him, the ball would be out. You get close to him, the ball would be out. And then he never took clean shots. That's the other thing too is these quarterbacks. Yeah, they're going to get hit, they're going to get bumped. But the good ones, number one, had to get the ball out. Number two, had to navigate the pocket. And number three, they know how to not get hit clean. And the best running back, that's one thing that Christian always did really well. He never got hit hard.
Yeah.
He was always able to roll out of stuff and get on guys' edges and fall forward and not take clean shots. So I think there's a real art to that. Get the ball out, know what you're seeing, navigate the pocket. You're going to get hit every once in a while, but it's hey, as long as you're not getting clean, you're not getting hit square. And then with all the new rules that they have, you can't land on these guys because if you go, we want our quarterback to be able to play. That's what makes the game exciting.
So yeah, that's what Luke was talking about when it comes to Bryce Young, and I guess that's it was brought up about him being the Drew Brees comparison. So and he's right though. Everybody's what's he gonna do when he takes these big hits? What's he gonna do when he gets? He's got a point though. Drew. Me now thinking about it after I heard that, I've never seen many highlights of Drew Brees getting rocked. Yeah, Drew Brees was either the ball was out of his hands and he took a late hit, which caused a 15-yard flag, which give me all those you want, and or Drew was one of them people, and even Bryce has done it because I've watched him do it in games last year and the year before. If he's going to get tackled, normally he will throw himself kind of under the tackle. So he'll just kind of go down instead of taking the hit. He's really good about his pocket presence and being well, this is gonna suck, but I'm just gonna go ahead and just take it instead of I'm gonna try to get it out in time before taking a hit. So
I agree.
I think Bryce is gonna be a lot better than what people think.
Yes.
So
I could see that.
All right.
And then here is this.
All right, so we kind of just wanted to give an update on each of these four quarterbacks and kind of what the, I guess you'd say, mood is around what people think is going to happen with the first overall pick. So as we said last week with Bryce Young, he started to gain a little bit of momentum towards being the first overall pick. Some reporters started saying it again more than they had in the past month. Since that happened last week, since we said it last week, it has been an absolute avalanche of people saying that Bryce Young's going to be the first overall pick. I mean, there are people who have been mocking C.J. Stroud for months from the beginning to be on the Panthers at number one, and now they've switched to Bryce Young. So, maybe put a little bit of however much you believe into that. Who knows? But, I mean, Bryce Young is also the odds-on favorite They don't just change the odds for nothing. They have to. They're in the money-making business. They're not going to do something stupid. As for the second guy in C.J. Stroud, the momentum has slowly tapered off, but mainly because Bryce Young's obviously showing up. And as Aaron said earlier, Bryce Young had a really, really good S2 test score. I believe, like he said, it was a 98. C.J. Stroud allegedly had a low S2 score. And I saw a tweet where someone asked about I don't remember who it was, but these two quarterbacks that are both starters in the league had like a 76 or 75. And he asked, like, okay, was CJ Stroud's around this? Because these two dudes are pretty good. And the main guy who's reporting the S2 stuff was like, those two scores that are 76, 75 are not considered low scores. Take that for what you want. But apparently that means it must have been pretty low. Again, and also Bryce Young had his top 30 visit on Tuesday. CJ Stroud is having his on the 18th. We'll get into that a little bit later. Anthony Richardson, third guy. There's been a tiny bit of buzz about him. I think a lot of our reporters have said, like, Bryce Young is who they think it's going to be, but look out for Anthony Richardson. He's still there. He's not dead, but he's still there. He also had a very good S2 score. And after that came out, they also said David Tepper really values the S2 test.
And so does Scott, I think.
Yeah, and Scott. He had his top 30 visit on Monday. Again, we'll get into that in just a second. And then Will Levis, I'm not really going to say much about him. I mean, we all know he's not going to be the pick. We will riot if he is the pick. No offense to him. Actually, offense to him. We don't want you. He is also...
At least let the guy get drafted first.
Nah, he's also coming in on the 18th. Now, if you pay attention there, so Anthony Richardson was first and alone. Bryce Young was second and alone. C.J. Stroud and Will Levis are coming in a week later, and they're coming in at the same time, allegedly. Aaron, what are your thoughts on that?
I think if you want to get all pointy, tinfoil hat, I think that means that C.J. Stroud and Will Levis are on the outside looking in. And I think that AR and Bryce are the two on the table that Carolina is talking about the most. There's been rumors that Frank Reich is the one pounding the table for Anthony Richardson. Mm-hmm. That's interesting too. So I really think it's a 3 QB race right now, and I think everybody's neck and neck. Scott Fitt knows who he wants.
Yep. Scott
Fitt has already come out and said, I got my guy. I'm waiting on everybody else. But, it's not Scott's team to build. I mean, it is, but he's not the number one man. Yeah, so it's like let's meet in the middle and let's see what we can figure out. So I just want to throw this kind of out there. In 2019, under pressure, Joe Burrow had 17 touchdowns.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Gotcha. So 17.
17.
Gotcha.
Remember who he was throwing to? Jamar
Chase,
Justin Jefferson. And this is since 2014. And Bryce Young, 2021, had 17 touchdowns under pressure.
All right. And he was throwing to, was it Jamison Williams? John Mechie? All right.
I mean, they're also NFL caliber wide receivers, but they're not.
Yeah, they're not. 2
of them are top 5, and the other and Terrace Marshall Jr. is kind of like a top tier wide receiver too. Or at least he could be. So, I mean, I'm just saying, I think that's one also had a worse O-line. So, I just think that what Bryce does is insane. And it's not like Bryce comes from a family that just does whatever. His dad's a psychologist?
I think so, yeah.
So, I mean, it's like this. I really think Bryce Young is incredibly smart.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Literally, not even just football wise, just everything. I think he's just an incredibly smart dude. So he's definitely not going to be a quarterback that if you draft, you're going to be embarrassed to have.
Yep.
So.
And to back up your other point about whenever you said like Scott has his guy, remember what he also said during that, what was it? The one right after, like the press conference right after we traded for the first overall pick. He said, we're not going to talk to each other about it until like a week or two before the draft. So there is the chance that they haven't even had the meeting yet. And I say that because they haven't done all the QB meetings. They very possibly could have done the meeting, right? Where they were like, oh, this is our dude, right? But there's still the chance that they haven't even had that huge meeting with all these dudes in the room and battled it out to see who's going to be the first overall pick. I don't think they have.
I would kill somebody to be a fly on the wall in that meeting.
Yeah.
Hey, do you guys think that there's a possibility that, like, they do have the meeting, right? Like, say before Bryce or CJ, like, touch down in Charlotte. Mm-hmm. They have the meeting, and one of them walks in and they're like, hey, listen, don't believe anything else. We're taking you number one. Like, just straight up, they're like, look, we're not going to put you through it. You're a Panther.
No, because I really think they want to keep everybody guessing until draft night.
Yeah, I don't think. I think
the last couple times that not just Carolina, but any NFL team has had the number one overall pick that needed a quarterback. You knew Bengals was taking Joe. You knew Jags was taking Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah.
There was other team. You pretty much knew Arizona was going to take Kyler Murray. I
feel like even
it's just like that. But now it literally is like there's not a consensus number one pick. It's literally like there's three of them. Who are you going to take? And I think Carolina, I think Frank Reich and Scott and all them is feeding into that just for fun.
I think we'll know. I think 3 days before or a couple hours before, we'll have a good idea.
I think a couple hours before. And I think it speaks volumes that Frank Reich himself come out and said, just because it says that I like tall quarterbacks, don't believe everything you read.
Yeah.
I really think that holds some weight.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely could.
So, I mean, because you don't come out and say that for no reason. So it's like, yeah, I think that holds weight, in my opinion, 100%.
Yep.
So, yeah, that's all I've got for Panthers Corner. If you've got anything else, CK.
No, I mean, I think it's going to sound crazy, but I'm starting to think it's a 2-horse race between Bryce and AR. I know that it's like the CJ thing. I love CJ, but we have a running joke about people having gut feelings, and usually it's wrong. I don't know. My gut's telling me it's between Bryce and AR, and obviously it's probably going to be Bryce, but I have been on the AR train for a long time.
I really just don't think that you can go wrong with either.
No.
Like any of the top three here, any of them that you pick is instantly probably going to, like, catapult the Panthers.
They're all in like a good situation.
Yeah, like all in separate ways though. But I do think that each of these picks are going to be advantageous, no matter which one you go with. All right, so, ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to test your brain power. We are going to do some NFL quizzes as our last segment here on this episode of Pack the Bank. So let's get right into it with a tier list of quarterbacks.
All right.
Whole lot of throws in football.
Yeah. So, you see our rankings. S, A, B, C, trash, because there are trash quarterbacks. And then rookies, because the rookies are in this. So, I'm going to go ahead and take the rookies out, because then they'll just be out of the way. Just so we don't have to. Is that all of them? No, he may not even be drafted.
And then there's Max Duggan, too.
Yeah. Are there any more?
Will Levis.
Those look like...
Yep.
Yep, that looks like all of them.
All right, okay. So we'll just start from here and work our way down. Sam Darnold. And this is all based off last season.
Okay, I was gonna say.
I would say C. At the ending of last
say
season,
C.
he played pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
We'll go C.
So,
I definitely see some worse quarterbacks.
So, based off of last season, like I said, Geno Smith.
Geno Smith's got to be a B or an A.
That's an A.
I'd probably give him an A based off of what he did last season. I agree with that.
S.
Okay.
S tier.
Based off last season, you'd put him
The
in
greatest
a C
quarterback of all time.
I'm not going to put him in trash. I've never seen him play. So I feel like you have to give him a C because we don't know what we're going to get out of him.
That's fair. All you need is love, baby. All right.
But,
Bailey Zappi.
Bailey Zappi.
Bailey Zappi's a B. What he did to fill in for Mac Jones, I mean, he came back and almost beat us. I mean, like he played a very good competitive game, and I'm gonna put when we get to him, I'm putting Brock Purdy in the same category, and pretty much for the same reason. I mean, these guys came in as rookie quarterbacks, drafted like in the later rounds, and were not expected to do anything, and really turned like nothing into something. So I'm definitely putting Bailey Zappi in the B category.
I'd put him in the C category. Again,
I think
he only had 4 games.
I would have to. Yeah, he only played 4 games. I'd have to put him in the C. In the C for now, because like what you said with Brock Purdy, but Brock played so much more and went so much further.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
But that also depends because he was on San Francisco. But
Yeah.
still. Anyway, yeah, we'll get to Purdy in a minute. Lamar Jackson. I'm putting him in
C.
A.
See, he was injured.
C.
He was injured.
I'm giving an A.
What
would you consider?
We're basing it off last season, so that's what kind of sucks. So okay, let's do this. If they were injured, base it off the season they wasn't injured.
Okay, then yes, I would put him in an A.
Okay, because it's kind of last season, yeah, probably a C because he was hurt, but still. Joe Burrow.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, A or S.
What?
Easily.
Okay.
Oh man.
I was like, what?
No, S easily.
Brock
Easily
Purdy.
S.
A B, right?
I would give him a B.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is that Christian McCaffrey?
That is.
That man's trash. This man's straight trash.
Yeah.
Or is that Will Greer? Is that Taysom Hill?
That's Taysom Hill. Get that man out of here.
Trash.
Yeah, Taysom Hill's not good.
Matthew Stafford last year.
Wasn't Stafford hurt last season?
Yes.
Yeah, so
for most of the time.
Season before he was a Super Bowl champion.
I'm gonna give him a C.
I'll give him a B for winning the Super Bowl.
I think he gets a B. Yeah.
Okay, but you said last season, 9 games, 9 games this season.
He was injured. We just made the injury rule.
You said no, but you said you do it off the part where he was healthy. So if he played 9 games and went 10 touchdowns and 8 interceptions,
ooh,
that is not good.
Oh,
it's not good.
That is tough. Okay, I'm good with C. Okay,
that's fine.
Mac Jones, trash, right?
Yeah, trash.
Yeah, we're all in consensus for that. Okay,
trash.
that is garbage.
I'll give him
S
a C.
tier.
Trevor Lawrence.
S tier. S tier.
I think
I'd have to give him an A. Oh god,
S or A. He's so
Dude,
good.
Come on, man. That Chargers game has to mean. I know he started terrible, but he come back, and then that Chiefs game, he played so good.
He's A tier.
I think he's got to be A tier.
Okay.
What's your argument for B?
I don't know. I didn't see him as.
He just doesn't like Trevor Lawrence.
I mean, I do like Trevor Lawrence. It's just, I don't know. Just what I mean. That point,
right now.
I know he came back.
Okay, tell me this then.
Yep.
Are you taking him over Brock Purdy?
Oh yeah.
Are you taking him over Geno Smith?
Yes.
Are you taking him over Lamar Jackson?
Yes.
Then why would he not be an A tier?
I don't know.
Exactly.
But,
I'm just saying, like, you know,
you
what I'm
don't
saying?
know.
Well, not like
I know that was kind of a crappy way to do it, but still, I'm like, you know what I'm saying?
I mean, that's a crappy way to do it, but you like.
Pretty valid.
I mean, I would go like, okay, for like Lamar Jackson though. Actually, I'm not taking him over Lamar Jackson, but it's also because of the 12 game thing. Like in 12 games, Lamar Jackson had 17 passing touchdowns, 7 interceptions, and in how many games did Trevor play in? I need to see. How many
He
played?
played in all.
He played in all 17, and he had
All
25
17?
touchdowns and 8 interceptions.
Oh, by the way,
That's-
can we make a
that's pretty close.
separate category for Russell Wilson for amount of bathrooms he has versus actual amount of TDs he had last season?
I mean, I think, I'll give him an A.
Okay.
I'm giving him an A. Yeah.
Mike White.
Is that a no to the bathrooms for Russell Wilson?
It's gotta be a C, right?
I'd give him a C.
Sam Howell.
C.
C. His
We
backup.
don't even see him play.
Again, we haven't seen him, so that.
Cooper Rush. Cooper Loki come in and played pretty good for Dallas, but I still think I give him a C.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of these guys are going to get C's because it was kind of a weird season for the NFL.
Teddy.
What did Teddy do?
Teddy two gloves.
I need to see what Teddy did this year.
Trash.
Teddy?
Oh, that man
Teddy?
did not. Ooh.
No, Teddy
Trash.
came in and
Ha.
he
Hot
played against
garbage.
I know he played against us for Miami during Christmas.
That man had a
Towards the end.
Wendy's 4 for 4.
Yeah,
Man, trash.
Alright. Jay Fields.
if we're being honest.
B. He's a solid B quarterback.
Ooh, that is high for a Packers fan. Okay. That's not what I was expecting.
No, I'm completely being
You want to do a B?
I'll give him a B below Brock. Has to be below Brock. Don't put him below
Yeah.
Brock.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
All right, so if we're gonna do that, then we're just gonna Josh Allen.
S tier. S tier.
I hear no arguments. Whoops. Jacoby Brissett.
C.
Daniel Jones.
C.
A.
C.
A.
B.
What?
He was
C or B?
very well improved.
I would say B. I don't know if I've been.
I think he's on the
I'd say
border.
B. I'd say B.
B and A.
I think he could. If he has another season like he did last year, this year, I could arguably make him an A.
Okay, well, I don't want to see Jared Goff in the A tier then.
Well, I mean, he also had more than 15 touchdowns and 5 interceptions. So, I mean,
That's fair.
I
Kenny
could
Pickett.
Kenny Pickett. I would give him a. Oh man, I don't know.
I don't know. He was pretty
Like a-
good for a
He's
I'd
rookie.
probably say a C.
I'm gonna give him
a
a C just because I think there's a lot to improve.
Davis Mills.
Trash.
Yeah, he's pretty bad.
Trash.
They talk about that giraffe like that.
S.
Gordon.
S tier, baby. Gardner Minshew.
I could throw a football over the mountains.
C, man.
This man was trash right here. This man was straight doogie. I don't care.
Trash.
That
Ryan
man's trash.
Tannehill.
That's Matt Ryan.
That's Matt
No.
Ryan, but okay.
I'm talking about this guy, Ryan Tannehill.
Where did you put Matt? Oh,
Matt
okay,
Ryan in trash.
I didn't see where you put him. Sorry,
yeah,
my
put
bad,
him in
my bad,
trash.
my bad. I mean, what did Ryan do last year?
I don't
Trash.
think he really did much. They're talking about trading up to get your quarterback.
Yeah.
You tell me.
He's trash. He has fallen off.
I'm going C.
I'm going trash.
Yeah, I'd rather go C too. Jimmy G.
Ooh.
I feel so bad for Jimmy G, man. He got injured.
Did
so I'm
you
gonna
see?
say-
He got hurt too.
Did you know that Vegas has a brothel that literally said Jimmy G
Yes.
gets free whatever whenever
Yes.
he wants it?
My guy.
That's fantastic.
That's my kind of guy right there.
Dude,
Yeah, I mean,
Vegas is a wild place.
This is another one where it's kind of like you can't really do anything because he's hurt for like.
Yeah. I'd have to give him a
Like,
C when he does play though.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's give him a
Colt
C.
McCoy.
See.
Man, get that man a C. Back up, give him a C.
True Lock.
See.
Back up, give him a C.
True Lock is trash, dude. Come
He's
on.
so bad. He's
I mean,
so
we're-
bad.
I mean, Colt McCoy's trash too, but we put him in C, so put him in.
Is that the mommy milker himself, Zachary Wilson?
Dude, that man's straight trash. Not even a debate.
Garbage, dude. Andy Dalton.
C.
He's a Carolina quarterback, so trash.
Oh, okay.
Okay, buddy.
Yeah,
That man had
but
better stats than Daniel Jones.
Your next QB just went to because that's who y'all are trading when y'all trade Rodgers. You're gonna get
Yeah, okay, bud.
Mommy
I don't know
milkers
what
himself,
universe
so.
you're living in, but that's not this one.
nah. Aaron Rodgers wants to go over here so he can train this man because he loves Zach Wilson for some reason. Probably because he knows how to get moms and he doesn't have one. So
Okay, all right. All right. Oh, man.
no.
I'm gonna give Tua A, dog.
Yeah, when Tua's not laying, on the ground like a vegetable.
Okay, that's awful.
When Tua's not in the hospital. And
All
I
right.
keep playing
Okay.
football.
You have to cut that out, dude. Don't keep that in.
You have to cut that out. Tua's an A.
A, yeah.
Jalen
Jalen
Hurts
Hurts.
S.
Jalen Hurts is already an S. All right, Dak Prescott.
Put him above Josh Allen. Put him in front of Josh Allen.
Dak Prescott? Oh.
No, Jalen Hurts.
Dak Prescott.
Dak's a B.
A B.
He had a pretty
B.
solid year. Put him in the rookie category. That man didn't even get to play.
Nah, put that man in. Put that man in straight.
He was injured. That's
I'm kidding. Put him in C. Put him in C. Put him in C. Put him in C.
That's your own man.
He got to give up that
Trash.
number, but either way.
Trash.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, he's pretty trash. He's pretty terrible. Did Malik Willis even have a touchdown this year?
No, he's
Passing?
trash.
Yeah, if he doesn't have a passing touchdown, we gotta put him in trash.
Did he play?
Oh, he did. Oh, good lord. He had 276 yards, 0 touchdowns, 3 interceptions with a QBR of 12.4.
Kyler Murray.
C. The thing about Kyler is
I think Kyler Murray's a walking garbage can.
I'm just so disappointed with him. Like,
Yeah.
he came out and like lit the
Fucking
league
midget.
up for like.
Oh my god.
he
If he had a regular season, I'd put him at B, but because of this, he's C.
If he ran, he didn't laugh because the grass tickles his balls. I'd give him C too.
Oh, that's terrible. Yeah, he's a C. He's a C. He's definitely a C.
You know what? I'm gonna make my job easy. I'm leaving all this in because it's hilarious.
Don't. God. At least I didn't say anything this time. That's terrible. Trey Lance, even though he's been hurt, you gotta put him in trash.
He's trash.
That hairline is trash too.
Oh, man.
See that thing? That man look like the
Okay.
football fields I used to play on as a kid.
Oh, no.
That thing was so patchy.
Jameis was trash.
Jameson was trash. Baker
That man looked like the front
This
page
man
of
was
Rogaine.
Baker Mayfield was below trash.
Yeah, dude was. He should have been a rookie. All right, we can at least say these next two were probably S tier, right?
I can't even see him.
It's Pat Mahomes and Justin Herbert.
Yeah.
No, that Pat Mahomes guy is trash.
You put Pat Mahomes all the way in the front, though.
Pat Mahomes there. Justin Herbert, I'll put 5 behind Buffalo Bills quarterback.
Shoot, that man
Aaron
Josh
Rodgers.
Allen overrated.
Aaron Rodgers, I'd have to say A tier.
Yeah. I mean, okay, but let's just real quick. If we're saying like injuries and stuff affected their season, then we would go back to the last year where he won the MVP.
That's
So
not what he said. He said use the games where they actually played.
Oh, well, if we're using the games where they actually played before they were hurt, I mean, we were like 5-1, and Rodgers was like already back in talks to be an MVP. So I would put him in S.
No,
And he's not even my quarterback anymore.
Yeah,
But-
he is.
He's an A.
Jared Goff, solid B.
Yeah.
Solid B. Very
Solid
solid
B.
B.
Very solid
Very great. Very good year for Jared Goff.
Kirk
Yeah.
Cousins, solid B.
Solid B.
Solid B. Great. B.
Marcus Mariota, solid trash.
Solid
Solid
trash.
trash.
That man
absolutely.
trash.
Desmond
Straight
Ritter,
future.
solid
Solid
trash.
trash.
Yeah.
Okay. Derek Carr,
Solid trash.
He was pretty bad.
He was really bad last year.
He was.
all right, and there's our list.
Homie really made it to the Pro Bowl with like what? How many touchdowns did he have?
Where's
Well,
Tyler
ladies
Huntley
and
at,
gents,
dude?
that was what?
Where's Tyler Huntley? He was a Pro Bowl quarterback.
No, he wasn't. They were just
Yeah.
playing pretend.
Oh,
This is our list of
this is
tiered
rough.
quarterbacks, and actually, I really feel like it's pretty accurate. There's a lot of C tier quarterbacks. Most of them have not gotten a chance to start fully just yet, or are in the development of being starting quarterbacks. So I think that they will probably move up or potentially even down into our rankings list. And I'm sure some people in the trash category, i.e. Russell Wilson, will probably move out of it eventually. Maybe. I mean, probably not. But we'll see. Do we have another quiz?
Yes, we have one more.
All right.
We're going to do the uniform list.
Ooh.
So I would kind of take Arizona with a grain of salt because they're getting new uniforms. So just kind of a FYI.
As are the Panthers.
We're not getting new uniforms. We're just
recoloring.
Coloring our blue different color.
Recolor.
So Arizona.
Meh.
Pretty meh.
Yeah. Okay. Atlanta. I think Atlanta's are pretty nice.
Yeah.
Definitely that.
I do like the black and red.
That black to red fade. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, that one is.
Yeah.
That one, the black and red fade's actually pretty fire to me.
Yeah.
Baltimore.
That full purple.
Yeah.
I think it's average.
That's
It's average.
That's what I would say. Mine's average.
It's average.
I'll be real. That Bills one, it's pretty meh.
Yeah. It's very meh.
Yeah.
You guys are average. You guys' uniforms are pretty average. I do like them, but I think I like the different. I don't like the black and blue. I like you guys' white uniforms a lot better, to be honest. Oh, or you're like all blue uniforms. I love those. Those are really nice.
Bears.
Garbage. Hot garbage.
I would say
Garbage.
pretty average or meh.
I'll give them a meh. I'm not very.
Those Bengals uniforms
Are garbage.
That's garbage. That
That's
one's garbage.
Hot garbage.
Their new ones, I like them, but that one's trash.
Yeah. Cleveland is also garbage. I hate the Cleveland Browns uniform.
I hate brown.
Yeah, I'm not a fan. Dallas.
Dallas is meh, probably.
Meh or average one thing.
Denver.
Yeah, all right, I'm sorry to the one person that I know that's a Broncos fan watching this video. You guys have garbage uniforms.
Oh. I'm again, like, a lot of these things are meh to average to me.
Yeah, I'd say meh. The Lions.
Average. I'll say average.
I mean, yeah, I kind of do. Packers. I mean, if we're going off those, then I think it's pretty average.
Yeah, if we're going off of those, then it's average. If we're going off of these,
If we're going off them bumblebees are fire.
those
Not
are
bumblebees.
fire.
They did that one like green and whatever, that ugly one. What was it? Like dark green and what was that uniform called? Now I'm gonna have to look it up.
The 50s throwback?
Was it that?
Are you
There's one that's like terrible. Oh no, it's not that one. Oh, what is it?
That's the one where the helmet y'all had the little circle with the number.
Oh.
Yes, that one. That one's
the blue,
so bad.
The blue uniform?
Yeah, that's terrible.
Yeah, that one's god awful. I
Yeah,
said
well, we got
Bumblebee
rid of
because I was thinking of the Steelers, but
That's just as bad. The Texans.
They're very meh.
mid average.
Colts.
Average.
Yeah, they're very average.
Jags.
I like them.
Average.
I like them too. I think they're nice.
I think they're nice.
Yeah?
Yeah. I like the green. I think the green pops with it. I think that's the Chiefs.
Chiefs have a nice uniform. I like the Chiefs uniform.
Yeah.
Yeah. Their red and whites look pretty good. They're red on white.
Yeah.
The
The
Chargers.
powder blue of the Chargers is fire.
Yeah.
I love the
It is,
Chargers
it is
uniform.
fire. It is
Yeah.
fire.
I love the
Yeah.
Chargers. Same with the Rams. The Rams uniform is fire.
I think the Rams are pretty fire also. A lot of people
Yeah.
don't like them. I like them.
Dude, the Chargers and the Rams easily have the best uniforms in the NFL. They are fire.
Except for when the Giants were the throwback.
Yeah.
The Giants throwback
Yeah.
is heat.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Raiders.
Mid average.
Nah. Yeah. But yeah, the Rams and the Chargers are fire uniforms.
Yeah. Dolphins.
They're nice. I like the Dolphins blue. I really do.
Yeah.
I give it a nice, yeah. I actually do like the the
I like the
Vikings uniforms.
Vikings.
I like the purple.
They're
I really
nice.
do.
I think
Patriots.
these are terrible.
I
They're
think they're average.
I don't like that. I don't
we
like
just
that
don't
stripe.
ever change anything like with the uniform.
I'm giving them a meh.
Yeah.
Saints.
Garbage. I don't like the black and gold.
I don't think it's good either.
I could probably give it a meh, but I think you two outvote me.
Yeah, that's not even me being biased. I just don't think they look good. I think you could do
it just
more
doesn't look. It looks like a high school uniform. I just don't like it.
Yeah, Giants.
They're pretty average.
Those are average.
Jets. I like
don't
the
like the
Jets.
Jets.
I like the Jets. Those things are nice.
I do like the Jets. I'd go nice.
Nice.
Okay, that's fine.
Eagles.
They're pretty average.
The Eagles could make their uniforms cool.
It could be
They
so fire.
I love that they're doing the
Kelly
lighter
Green. Kelly
throw-
Green is
yeah.
nice.
the Kelly Green throwbacks. Those.
Yep.
So if that would have been the picture for these, I would have said fire because those are nice.
Yeah. Steelers.
I like the
Garbage.
Steelers uniforms.
Yeah.
Steel-
You don't like them?
You know,
I've
like
never liked any of the Steelers uniforms. I just think they're so ugly.
that
The
Bumblebee
Bumblebee
one.
is
That
terrible.
Bumblebee pretty fire though.
That's awful. The Seahawks. I think the Seahawks is kind of meh.
Yeah, the Seahawks color rush though is fire.
Their color rush is pretty good.
That lime green.
Yeah,
That is
fire.
awful.
No, that's fire.
Ooh,
I love
man.
that lime green.
Oh, man, that's a heck of a take, I guess. San Francisco. I think these are fire. Not gonna lie.
They're okay.
I think they're average.
Yeah, pretty average.
Okay. Bucks.
They're
Average.
also another average. Yeah.
A lot of average ones.
Titans.
I don't like the gray.
Not either.
No, I don't really either. They're very meh.
And
They
then
took that gray
Commanders.
off, it'd be pretty decent.
I do kind of like the Commanders' new uniform.
I'm a more average kind of guy again.
Yeah, I like average.
It's fine.
All right, so
That's what it's
Bam.
supposed to be. Average. Everybody average.
boom.
Bam.
There's your NFL
Bang bang.
uniform tier list.
Yep. So, ladies and gents, that was your uniform tier list. We are wrapping up episode 12 of Pack the Bank Podcast. As always, if you liked what you saw here, you can like and subscribe or follow us on YouTube and Instagram on our social channels. Link in the description below. And as you just saw it on the screen, we're probably going to be doing some more polls and stuff leading up to the draft on our page. So make sure that you check that out. And then obviously follow both of our pages on Instagram, as I just linked. And until next time, ladies and gentlemen, this has been us. My name's Cody. This has been Aaron and CK. And yeah, we'll see you guys in the next one. Peace!